Bubbly.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. And even though she doesn't have the skills or accomplishment I have, she seems to have everything go great for her in her life all of the time. I try not to show it around her, but it burns me up of how lucky she is. I wish I could have a fraction of the good luck she has, but everything always seems to go badly for me. How do I get rid of these jealous feelings and learn to like her more?
There's an episode of Seinfeld where George tells Jerry that he has that life. Everything's even Steven for you, Jerry. You lose your car keys, you win a new car. Nothing works well for me, George says. That's hard. It's hard.
No, it's not.
It is
hard. It's not hard. No.
You disagree?
I disagree.
All right.
And I got bad news for you, Ashley, because we, at this time yesterday, read an article about how to know if you're a bad person or not.
That's true.
And on the list, I believe, was being jealous of other people for things they have in their life.
Okay. I have two very good friends who are millionaires that worked hard to get there.
Mm-hmm.
They own major advertising companies, and both of them, when I started morning radio in Little Rock, Arkansas, doing my first radio job as like an on-air guy, they were selling, one guy was selling printers, and the other guy was selling radio for a small radio station in New Jersey. They worked their way up, and they earned it. Nothing was given to them. It sounds to me like this friend just falls into stuff. Nowhere in that DM that she sent said, you know, my friend worked hard, got her master's degree, and now is running a tech company, although that would be bad, but tech's not the thing to be in right now. But
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? That's annoying, like, if stuff just happens.
But does stuff just happen, or
Yes.
do you make your own luck? Like, you can't win the lottery unless you play the lottery, right? If you have a great relationship with people who end up calling you for Front Row Hornets tickets, it's probably because you're a nice person to them. Like, those Front Row Hornets tickets just fell in your lap. It didn't really just fall into your lap. You worked on the relationship because you truly care about that person, and that's why you got the Front Row Hornets tickets.
You're just assuming that, though, with this DM.
I'm just using that as an example.
But you're assuming that this person, that this friend is nice. Like Ashley just said that I kind of don't have any good luck and my friend gets all the good luck. That's basically what I got out of the DM.
She said she's upbeat, and even though she doesn't have the skills or accomplishments that she has, everything good seems to happen to her. But that might just be because she's a good person. And she, like...
So what's your advice to Ashley? Become a better person?
Yes.
Diana said life's
Don't
all
be
about
so
energy.
jealous.
So the good energy that she's putting out, she's just receiving it back. If she's jealous, she's really not her friend.
I kind of agree.
Yeah, I guess I get what you're saying, but I think you guys are diving too far in. I think it's just kind of annoying. Like Ashley's looking for a break in her life. Although, even though she said the subject was jealous of my friend, you know, she's looking for a break. Like, let something happen to her so that Ashley could go to her friend and say, you know, something really good happened in my life today. So
Don't be jealous of your friend.
But put positive vibes out there.
Yes.
Okay.
But you need to get over this. Truly.
You hear that, Ashley? I know you're driving to work.
A little tough love.
All right. If you missed anything on today's show, you can grab it on the replay on demand. We are now currently live on YouTube, the Maney and LauRen page on our YouTube channel. We're going to do our rap party live, where we'll discuss further a couple things that we talked on the show today. And we're also going to fill out our basketball brackets on the show today.
Oh, good.
On the rap party.
I don't know anything about March Madness.
The Rap Party podcast. Let me tell you the number ones in the bracket.
Wait, I know them because I already sought them out.
It ain't North Carolina State, producer Nicole.
Nope. It's Houston.
It also isn't North Carolina, my Tar Heel friends.
Kansas State and Alabama are...
Wrong.
No, are they not?
It's not Kansas State.
What did I say?
It's Kansas. The University of Kansas, the team that your friend Maney roots for.
But Kansas State is in there, too.
Kansas State's in there. They're not a number one, though.
Oh, I meant, excuse me, not number one, favored to win.
Okay, the number ones are Kansas, Houston, Alabama, and Purdue. As far as North Carolina goes, they're out. North Carolina State is in. Clemson is out. Sorry about that. Y'all should have gotten in. But we'll talk about this on the rap party. We'll go through it, and we'll see who's got the best bracket
and
at the end of it all.
Can help me pick my bracket.
Okay. All right. Once again, YouTube Live, the Maney and LauRen Show, and the Rap Party Podcast. Wherever you listen to your podcast, grab it on the Kiss 95.1 app.
Ace and TJ are up next.
Oh, I feel like I gave birth.
Me too. I'm exhausted. Jesus.
What a whore of a show. This is what we talk about after we get off the air, you guys. We're like, oh, my God.
There's just a lot of lives today. Maney farted a lot.
Did you smell anything? Be honest.
No, but I
So
know
then it doesn't
every
matter.
time you shift in your chair.
That's not entirely true.
Oh, you're so full of it.
It's not entirely true. Sometimes I do that to stretch my back.
No, I can tell the difference between this, the little lift, and the back stretch. I know the difference.
What's my fart lift? Just that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a shift. It's not a full lean.
Well, I wonder why I do that, because I can fart like this. I don't have to go like that. That's my tell. Ooh, LauRen. Oh, okay. Well, let's do our rap party.
Okay.
And we will discuss. And do you have a bracket?
Yeah.
Nicole, do you have yours?
Got one right here.
You could do one online, Nicole.
You want mine?
Welcome to a rap party podcast, everybody.
Hi.
So I want to talk about.
Oh, gosh.
I want to talk about your husband's vasectomy. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to talk about his vasectomy. Although, is he seriously doing it?
Yeah. We don't know when. It might be a couple months. But
Right.
Yeah.
So on Date 'Em or Dump 'Em, Claire said that she wanted her date, Danny, who called in, to read a book. And that was their date. And Danny thought that was weird. Although Danny got the vibe when he got to the house that she had candles lit and stuff. So she thought that
I thought for sure they were hooking up.
he
on the
thought that
first
he was
date.
like, damn. And I thought his thing was going to be like she had candles lit and she wanted to move furniture on the first date.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm not down for that.
Seemed like a stage 5 clinger, maybe.
Well, I got to be honest. I've told this a bunch of times. When I lived in New Jersey growing up, I lived around a lot of driven women who had like the New York, New Jersey attitude, which is like, don't hold the door for me. I got it. Like, I don't need a knight in shining armor type. But there is something about Southern hospitality and the people of the South do it a little differently. And at least in 1998, when I moved to Arkansas, I could tell the difference between the women in New Jersey and New York and the women in Arkansas. And this is going to sound so bad, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but sometimes it just is what it is. And that's where I'm going with this is like, if you went on a date with somebody in New Jersey, like you were not getting laid for a month, maybe.
Okay.
I moved to Little Rock. I went out with a girl, and she was naked on my bed the first date. And I literally said to her, I don't want to do this. Like, not yet. Like, let's build something here. And she's like, well, if you like boys, that's okay, too. Something along that line, you know. And I'm like, no, I'm into this. But, like, it's just not, I don't expect it. I didn't expect that on a first date.
Took you off guard.
It caught me off guard. So I ended up dating her, and then she ended up breaking my heart. She was the Playboy girl who was married to the guy who was really big. But, yeah, you can see how that went. She put out on the first date, big time.
Oh.
And again, the second date, and the third date. And then I called my friend, and I
Now
go,
you're just bragging.
I go, bro, you got to get down here. I go, I don't know what's in the water, but these women, they're different than the women up north. I'm telling you. So anyway, I could kind of see where that was going. And I also wanted to share the story about, so I dated, you know the band Cake?
Yeah.
They're like a alt-rock band from like the 90s. And they sang a popular song called, not Cake by the Ocean, I'm looking it up. This one. I'm going to play this song for a second, and then I won't play it long so we don't get flagged on YouTube. But they played a song. They have a song called "Short Skirt, Long Jacket."
Okay.
You know the song?
No, but I think I know where you're going with this.
Nicole, you know this one?
I want a girl with a mind like a diamond.
Anyway, the girl that I dated was the manager, ran all like the behind the scenes stuff for the band Cake out when I lived in California.
Wasn't this song about her?
It's about her. She's the one with the short skirt and long jacket. And so she ran like their merch and all that stuff, and she dated the lead singer, and then she broke up with him, and I thought that was really cool. She also had a yellow lab, which I like. She had a BMW, which was really cool, a convertible, so that was fun. We were moving furniture in my back bedroom after we dated for a while, and I smelled poop, and the dog pooped on my carpet, and I could care less. We just kept moving furniture because I didn't want to bring it up.
Okay.
you're in your mid-20s, LauRen. You're not going to stop
Okay.
because you don't know if it's going to start again. And so she dated this guy, and I guess they were like super intellectual. So she liked to have short stories read to her. And when we were laying in bed one night, she's like, "Go ahead and read to me." And I was like, "What? Read to you? Like, okay, like whatever it takes for this night to continue moving forward,
You're
I'll
like,
do."
I'll do whatever.
So like it was a short story, and I'm like, Mr. Eckerson went to the town square. He looked around. He saw, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And I think like I realized, I go, this isn't going to work because this isn't going to all of a sudden just stop.
Right.
So the point is,
Next thing you know, we're reading novels to each other.
Danny and Claire, they weren't going to click. Danny's not into reading books. Claire wants somebody who's intellectual. And listen, Claire took a huge hit on the text messages today. But there was like 2 or 3 people who are like, I love it. And I'm here for what she's saying. Like, you know what you want. And if you don't, weed them out.
Yeah?
What's the weirdest date you went on?
Oh, I'd have to think about it. I don't know.
Nothing bounces off the top of your head.
The worst date was the flat tire in South Beach, but I don't know what the weirdest date I went on was.
Maybe you didn't have any.
I'm sure I did.
Like where you were like, what am I doing? Didn't you break up with a guy at
Universal?
At Universal
Yeah.
on a ride?
In line, but yeah.
In the line.
And then we had to ride the ride together and drive home together, which is 4 hours in a car from Orlando to Fort Lauderdale.
That's funny. We need to talk about that too one day because Amanda, a guy broke up with her, invited her to dinner, broke up with her at the beginning of the dinner, and then wanted her to stay.
Really?
She's like, I'm not staying.
I wouldn't have stayed either.
He's like, come on, I'll buy you dinner.
I mean, I've had not random, but I've had guys show up at my house to profess their love to me when I was already married.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird. But I don't know if I ever had like a weird date where I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Because I think I would just left.
Yeah. Yeah, there was another girl that I knew. And by the way, these are all mostly California stories. Like I dated this girl in California and she was so cool, man. Like we totally hit it off. I met her at a club. She was there with her sister. I got her number. We totally hung. And then I was friends with the family who owned like the big party stores in Sacramento, like all the box party type stores where you would go and get stuff for your parties. So they had money, and they threw an annual like Labor Day and Memorial Day party, and I brought her to the Memorial Day party, and I thought she was going to have a blast there with me. And all of a sudden she goes, my aunt died. I got to go. And I'm like, that's the weirdest thing ever. So I was like, okay. I didn't even know your aunt was sick, and I never heard from her again.
Oh,
so she lied to me to get out of it.
Yeah.
But if she stayed, she would have had fun.
So you think? Maybe she was just like, this dude, I got it.
You think I'm too much for people?
Yes, I do. You're too much for me sometimes. And I love you, and I've worked with you for 8 years.
Yeah, but aren't I fun?
Yes.
So, what's the problem?
You're still a lot.
Remember the time I drove from Sacramento to San Francisco, which was an hour and a half, and I had to pee, and I peed in the parking deck. We were going to a concert. We were going to see like Rusted Root or something, and another girl I was dating, and she got pissed and broke up with me.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Because I peed in the, and I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom so bad.
Yeah.
I've been holding it for the last 25 minutes, like bad.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get to a restaurant. I can't walk down the steps. And she's like, that's the grossest thing I ever saw. We're going to do the concert. When we get in the car and go back to Sacramento, we will no longer be dating.
Wow.
I don't remember how the car ride home was, but I was just like, what? I went on a double date. Did you ever do a double date?
Oh, yeah. I was like the queen of the double date.
So nothing weird happened on a double date?
No, but like I was probably the weird one. I was just like really nervous to date when I started dating.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to go with another couple to like break the ice. Like I was more myself in a group than one-on-one.
Okay.
So it was a better representation of who I was, which is why I wanted to do it. But I dated this guy, Kevin, who I ended up dating for a long time, actually. But like a month in, he was like, are we ever going to go on a date with just the two of us? And I was like, oh. I don't know, maybe.
Is that what you're into?
Yeah. But I really liked him, but I was just so nervous to be around him by myself.
Did you ever?
Yeah. And like I said, we ended up dating for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was a little bit older than me, so he was in college, but yeah, I don't know. It was just like really awkward.
What about a double date? Like I went on a double date with a buddy of mine, and I realized I found his date more attractive than my date, and we were all friends in college.
Well, so this is also the guy whose older brother was insanely hot, and I used to tell him all the time that if it didn't work out with him, I was going after his brother.
But you never hooked up with the brother?
No.
Yeah.
No, he always had a long-term girlfriend.
So there was two girls that were really close friends, and me and my buddy asked them both out. I was like, I'll ask her out, you ask her out. And he's like, fine. So we went out, and we had a really good dinner and drinks and stuff. And then at the end of it, they're like, we need to do this again. And I didn't text him because there was no texting back in 1994. But I was like, dude, I don't think I can go out with her anymore. I'm like, I think your girl's hotter. And he's like, well, this sucks because the only reason why she went out with me is because you went out with her friend. So if you stop going out with her friend, then you're ruining my chances with the other girl. I was like, what? But yeah, I don't know. It shit happens. So, all right, do you want to go through our brackets real quick?
Sure.
And then we'll get out of here.
Nicole, you're going to do it too? Sure. Oh, she already started hers.
My pin died.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you something,
like
Nicole. Get on the
here.
microphone there for a minute, please, for the Rap Party podcast. And this is just a straight guy asking a gay woman a question. Do lesbians double date?
I get, yeah. I mean,
Have you?
Why not? Why wouldn't they?
I don't know because
They're not another species.
yeah, well,
Yeah, I think it's just more about having a friend that is in a relationship that at the same time.
but like the double date thing to me, it's not like if I go out with my married couple across the street, we're not going out on a double date. I mean, early on in the relationship is when people double date, when everybody's trying to feel everybody and figure everything out. And I'm just wondering if that happens. And
That's not true. I would consider what you did with that weather girl a double date.
you would?
Yeah, I
Nicole
would too.
Madden.
Yeah, I would too. That's a double
But
date.
we're married. We're all married.
Doesn't matter. You're still.
It's still,
I mean,
you can.
it's a date.
Hopefully, you still date your wife.
Yes.
If
He doesn't understand. I
No,
can
I
already
do
see
hear
it
what
on
you're
his face. He doesn't get it.
I do hear what you're saying, and I'm
that's why
intrigued
y'all
by
talk
it.
shit about marriages so bad, but my marriage is not gonna fucking go like that. Yes, you go on dates when you're married.
But you don't call it that though when you're married.
Yes, you
yes,
should.
you do.
You call it a double like
You go on date. Do you not do date night with your wife?
Friday night. I'm going to Mary O'Neill's in Waxhaw. And I'm going with my wife and my neighbors across the street. The same couple that we went to, that had the same anniversary.
That's
date.
different.
But we're
That's
going
like a
out together.
hangout.
Oh, so because Nicole and I had never gone out before.
No, that's not it. If you would consider it a date night with just you and your wife, and then there's another couple there, then that's a double date. So, like, if you and your wife were just going to go to a concert together for date night,
Yeah.
and then now two other people are going, right? Isn't that how you would
I
consider
would
it
consider,
too?
yeah.
Okay.
Whereas, like, if you're hanging out in the driveway, like, with the kids and Amanda, and another, like, I guess married couple comes over, like, that's not a date because to me, a date is you're allotting a specific time and activity. Can be anything. It doesn't have to be dinner. It doesn't have to be like a money gauging activity, but where the focus is quality time.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. I guess I never thought of it that way. So I guess lesbians do double date. All right, now.
Gay men too, believe it or not.
Gay men, I know double date because I know Roy always had a tough time finding another couple to hang with. He always wanted to, but he always had a hard time finding another couple to hang with.
Well, I think that's the goal. Like, there's a really good podcast by Jay Shetty.
Turn your camera on, because if you're going to talk, then...
No, it's okay. They can see you guys.
Let them see her.
But it talks about, like, what every successful relationship, like, what it needs, and it's alone time, like quality time with your significant other.
Yes.
Time spent doing, like, a hobby with your partner, doing a hobby without your partner, and then quality time spent with friends with your partner. So you should have, like, friends that you hang out with your partner, because that's more like of a relaxed setting, but you should also have like alone time with your partner.
It all sounds grandiose. So the problem is that once kids get involved, it changes every marriage. It really does.
It really does.
Because you're going to parent differently than Jess parents, and that's going to annoy you, or it's going to annoy Jess. Why did you let the kid, don't let the baby lay there on the couch without standing on top of the baby? It's just ridiculous.
I think that's true, but also I think that like my age group, I think is more aware of stuff like that and does things differently. Because like one of my best friends, actually, pretty much all my friends have kids now, and like one of them speaks so real about that, and they're like, yeah, like early on, if you let a kid ruin your marriage, then your marriage will always come second. Like you have to be very aware of that.
It's just really hard because like you think like I'm gonna get real for a second, okay? Like you think you really love somebody and you do really love them, but when kids come along, at least as a mom, it is a totally different kind of love. It is
for
like
better or for worse.
Well, I mean, towards the kids. So it's like, I love Dallas, okay? But.
Oh, God.
See,
wait.
No.
Just hear me out, okay? If. I don't know how to put this. Okay, if
Jess ever were to pick the kids over me, that would be a huge problem to me.
I'm telling you, I deal with that with Amanda.
That's a huge problem.
And we talk about that in counseling.
That is the different kind of love that comes along with children, because it is so absolutely unconditional that it doesn't matter. Like, okay, great example. If Dallas were to kill somebody, okay, and he murders somebody, all right, and he goes to jail for it. Like, I don't know if I could stand by him if he like maliciously murdered somebody, right? But like if my kid murdered somebody by accident, because I don't think kids are capable of that kind of thing, like unconditionally, I would be like, I'll take the fall for you.
Yeah, okay. But
it's a different kind of...
I get what you're saying, but listen, I told Amanda, before there were kids, there was me and you. We are the foundation, and then the kids are the first floor and second floor of our house. And the foundation always needs to be first, and it's the most important thing. And she goes, I get it, babe, but not now. Like, now I love it. I have to get the kids.
Because
they're my
it's
first.
a different
they're my
kind
first
of love
thing.
for a mom. It might be different for a man, but like...
And a lesbian.
No, I don't think that I think everything's conditional based on the person, but like one of my best friends in Raleigh, they have a 4-year-old, and like they will say right now, like, if I have to choose here and now, like you said, you came first. You are the reason why I have this. There is no this without you. You will always come first. And 4 years old, and they prioritize date night. They vacation without the kids. They have a life without the kids.
That's good. They sound perfect. But not everybody's perfect.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think definitely not perfect, but it's conditional. I think parenting with somebody can either make you closer or put you apart.
Our relationship and LauRen's relationship would be a lot less stressful and arguing around the kids if Amanda and LauRen put Dallas and I first. But it's not easy, like she's saying. It's not, because the kids need us. We're not dependent on mom and dad right now, but the kids are.
That's
so
true.
The first thing on Amanda's mind and LauRen's mind is, how am I going to sacrifice my day for the children, not my husband? And he's not going to sacrifice. I don't expect him to sacrifice for me. Like, the kids are first. And that is very hard. I want to be first.
It's it's just a different
I know what you're saying.
love.
I know what you're saying.
Do you think that it's easier when they get older?
I believe so.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure it
everybody
is.
says.
No, but I mean, Cash is older, like Dina's older.
No,
like
yeah,
I
but
still have
Cash
Ruby.
is-
She still has Jax.
Yeah.
Ruby's still 4, going to be 5. Jax is going to be 3. They got years to go.
Yeah.
When Ruby gets to be 10 and Dean is 16, yes. Yeah, oh, totally. I cannot wait for that, because, and I don't want it to come too fast, because I played a clip of Ruby this morning as a 4-year-old, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, I love those years. But yes, Nicole, I think that, like, once that happens, there's a rejuvenation in the relationship, and I'm really here for it. Like,
I think that's the scary part of like people my age, is that like, where that sounds great, and I do believe it's a different kind of love, and it
It's
sounds
just
like
so different.
an amazing thing to experience. But like, I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of the things that you guys talk about, you don't make it look fun.
It's not sometimes.
But I think at the end of the day, I would choose life with my partner over that.
That's fair. And I have to, again, I'm just going to be honest with you. I thought the same way. Dallas and I waited for 6 years to have kids. But it is not easier as you get older either to raise kids together. Like, I kind of think that Dallas and I would have had a different relationship in parenting if we would have had kids younger. Because now we're both so set in our ways and in the marriage that, like, that's established, right? It's hard to change an established habit. But like I said, I love Dallas. And trust me, I would not be with the man if I didn't absolutely love him, because he drives me fucking crazy sometimes.
And you know you drive Amanda fucking crazy.
Yes.
Oh, totally.
But it is a total, like, you think you love somebody with your whole heart until you have kids, and then you're like, I didn't even know this love was a possibility.
And I don't need to manage Dallas, but I need to manage the kids.
Right.
Even with the au pair that she has, she needs to manage the kids.
Right.
And I'm telling you, Jess might have
They're
that same
your
feeling. And then
responsibility.
you feel like me and Dallas feel, which is like, wait a minute, why am I not first right now?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's why she doesn't want to have kids.
Because she's afraid she might get that.
No, yeah, well, she thinks that would come from me. And she's like, I'm not.
I don't think so.
She's like, I'm not. Well, that's what I say, because everyone.
I didn't think I would be like that.
People my age, like, the friends that I have that are 29 to 31, who have kids and they're a couple years old, like, that's what they say is, like, we were in therapy with, like, before the kids, during the pregnancy, after, like, it's a full-time job to manage a relationship, and then it's even a more full-time job to manage fucking kids.
Yeah.
But so, like, Jess is like, I don't want to bring something into this world. Like, I want to be your number one. Like, I want to be your...
Yeah, I wish I had somebody like you kind of can see with us. Like, I wish I had somebody like that, because then... But I always wanted to have kids, and I don't think we would have waited, but at least maybe I would have prepared myself.
Okay.
I always wanted to be the number one, and I'm not.
But that's how my friend that we all know, who is going through a divorce, she said she knew that divorce had to come because that was a topic of conversation, and the more that she thought about it, the more she realized, I don't want to parent with this person. Like, this person I don't think would be a good match. And that was, like, one of the driving factors of where she was like, I'm not bringing a kid into this world with you.
All right. Well, listen, we've done 21 minutes on dating and parenting.
We didn't even do the bracket.
We'll do it tomorrow. We have time. The first game doesn't kick off till noon tomorrow. We'll do it on tomorrow's wrap party.
Fine.
And then, you know what we could do tomorrow instead of, like, filling it out?
Just say who you think is gonna win.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
Oh.
Hold on to your bracket.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
NC State's gonna win.
Who do they have in the first game? I don't know.
Wouldn't that be some shit? Creighton. But it's 6 and 11.
NC State 6 or Creighton 6?
No, Creighton 6.
Crazy Creighton.
But that's the most